Looky, looky. It's me, Cookie. Yep, I'm coming back. I'm giving this another chance again. Took a little hiatus. Was dealing with a condition called laziness. Yes, it's prevalent in a lot of people. I just didn't have the energy to get up and do a review and say anything because a lot of these shows it just was sad and I was getting depressed watching them. I was like, this is just pathetic. Like, it just became redundant. So I'm back at it again, and now I'm just gonna try not to put so much personal feelings into it and just let it do what it do. Let the show give me what it needs to give. If it's cringy, if it's something aggravating, nerve irking, I'm just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Because I want to do reviews. My first review is going to be of the 90 Day Fiance. Guess you could say franchise. I guess a series, trilogies, whatever. It's a bunch of them. Okay, it's a bunch of 90 days. But this is 90 Day Fiance. But this is before the 90 days. So this is when this is before they get the K1 visa and all of that, get engaged. And whatnot. So this is when they finally meet the person. I do love this part of it because it's just so whimsical. Everybody's so blinded by the pure love of the person that no, they can't be lying. No, everything they're telling me is the truth. No, this relationship's going to work out and we're going to be married because we live in Disney. I love that. I love when people are oblivious to the possibility that it might not work out like that. I'm not saying that I'm a negative person, but I always think about the positive and the negatives. Like, what if this person is a killer and decides to chop me up into little pieces and put me in a suitcase or wear my skin as a jacket? Or if the person likes little kids. Like, I think about stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I can't help it. But anywho, we're going to start off, and I'm going to just cut it up by talking about each individual couple. So I'm going to go from, I guess, I don't want to say the least, the non-dramatical couple first. And then I will progress to the ones that I think are going to be the most dramatic. Or the ones that is most dramatic for this episode. So, sit tight. Thank you. So, the first couple that we have is 28-year-old Caleb and 27-year-old Elena. Or Elena. Elena? One of them. Anywho, this couple met on social media, which that was the term that they used a lot of times, social media, which could be Twitter, which could be Facebook. With them being that young, I'm thinking maybe Kick or something like that. Anywho, their personalities. Let's start off with Caleb. Caleb is in Arizona, and he is a more free spirit, meditating, Whole Foods, Trader Joe kind of person. This one, he seems like the type to me that if he goes outside, the elements would dictate how he feels. Or he would be the one that would walk around and say, I see the aura around someone, your orange light and all of that. Okay, he's like Erykah Badu dipped in white chocolate, but deeper off the Richter scale. Because sometimes I can see where Erykah's coming from. And then sometimes I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like, you know that time when Common had everything was knitted? Like, he had the crochet clothes. Remember the crochet pants and the crochet hat and the crochet scarf, and he was chest naked? Or like Andre 3000 when he used to walk around with the, I don't want to call it a bonnet, I forgot, the turban around his head for a while. And then he had the blonde, platinum blonde wig and the ski boots. Like, stuff like that. Just a little different. Just walking to the own beat of his drum kind of thing. But they met when they was around teenagers, like I want to say 14, 15 years old. Like they said on social media, they started off as friends. They had always been friends. Nothing romantic for a long time, and then they lost contact. And Caleb decided that he wanted to find a significant other, so he created a profile on a Russian dating site. And just so happens, as he was looking, he was like, "Oh, there's Elena. I remember her." And they started rekindling their friendship and officially became, I guess, boyfriend girlfriend. They never really said, or I don't know if they're exclusive, or they just started talking more in a romantic way for like a year, year and a half, something like that. Um, so their plans is to actually meet each other face to face. All the couples plan on meeting each other face to face, and that's what 90 Day Fiance is. Going on that journey with them when they meet that person, significant other, their infatuation. I don't know what else to call them. Overseas or wherever. It looks like this season all of the Americans are going over to the other country versus, what is that how it is for 90 days a lot of times? I think it is. I think so. I think it is. And then what happens is they decide if the person's going to come to America or if the person's going to go, or if the American is going to go to their country, and that decides whether they'll be on uh, after the 90 days, if it's the standard one or the other way. The other way is when the Americans go overseas. Anywho, I digress. Bringing it back. Uh, Elena is very beautiful. She's very sweet, very genuine. She is a model. She's also, I guess you could say, a singer, um, a live performancer. She's in a band called BFF. The music, the music genre, I don't know. I guess you would call it experimental alternative. I don't know. Like the lyrics in some of the songs, I was like, oh, okay, that's okay, that's a little different. But hey, it's not my juice. Okay, who am I? So, anywho, again, like I said, she is 27 and from Russia. The difference is something that we haven't seen before in the 90 days is someone who might have uh, a specialty about them. I don't like to say a deformity or I don't want to say something as far as a negative. Okay, it's just that their um, way of maneuvering in this world is different than my experience. So she does have a form of dwarfism, which I'm not. I she did say the type that she has, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not good with medical terms, so I didn't write that down because I knew I was gonna tear it up, and that's not what I'm here for. That's not my ministry to come on here and destroy someone's specialty that they have to deal with. But again, it shows just a little background. She has her two best friends that she's in a group with. One of them, she's actually in the roommate. That's her roommate, and they help her along because with this form of dwarfism, it's very difficult for her to walk. Um, at first, I thought she did not have her lower extremities, referring to her actual toes, but she do. It's just with that condition, it's just formed um, different than how my feet, my hands, and all of that is formed. Okay. So, with that being said, it's difficult for her to walk a lot of times for long, extensive time, so she has to use a wheelchair. But other than that, like she said, she lives a normal life. She dates, she goes out, she drives. I think that's her only job was the modeling and the singing. Excuse me. I'm not too sure. Anywho, but she does have a sister. We do meet her parents. She did tell her parents that she's going to meet Caleb. They're very concerned about her meeting him, for the simple fact of the matter that, hey, let's be honest. In today's society, there's crazy people out there. So they don't know this person. And she essentially don't know him either. She just know him to be who he presented himself to be on the internet. Heck, you could be with somebody for years and don't even know them. Trust and believe. I've been there. But they're going to meet in Turkey because the Russian borders are shut down right now. So they're dealing with that. So her parents really did not want her to go because they was afraid of any type of injuries or her getting hurt, possibly getting killed. But they was concerned as far as her maneuvering in the airport, which, okay, that's a great keen sense of being a parent as far as concern. However, also her going to a foreign country as Turkey, her having this condition where she has to use a wheelchair and would essentially have to depend on Caleb to get around, a person she's physically never met. That's dangerous. So she's going to have her roommate slash one of her best friends who's a male is going to be there to help her around maneuver, which I think was a great idea. But Caleb, of course, had an issue, which is a red flag for me. That he didn't like the fact that her best friend was so concerned about her and her parents were so concerned about her and her safety that he volunteered to come. He got an issue with that. Well, then let me explain something to you. Then that lets me know that you didn't have good intentions. If you have an issue with someone accompanying me to a foreign country that I'm going to meet you at, because you're like, how's he going to be there? This is going to be my first time meeting her. And you should be like, you know what? That's a great idea. I don't know why I never came up with that. That you do need someone to be there for you besides me. Because, again, we don't know each other. I'm not saying I'm an axe murderer, but I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to get around. I want you to be able to do things you want to do and not have to depend on me. So I don't see it for him. Okay? Okay, I really don't see it for Caleb. We shall see. I mean, what did your fire said to you not liking that? Did the fire speak back to you when you meditated? Did it say to you that you were being a jerk? Anywho, I digress. On to the next couple. Okay, you get these couples that sometimes it's just so cringy, okay? And it's so, you already know that it's going to be drama. Like, this going to be some, I hate to say this, this going to be the Jerry Springer domestic violence type of relationship. I see it's written all over the wall. This toxic, dysfunctional relationship is forming or has formed prior to the cameras and while the cameras are on. The couple I'm talking about is 51-year-old Gino and 34-year-old Jasmine. Now, Gino is 51. Right now, he is unemployed due to COVID. He was laid off. Jasmine, she is a American lit teacher in Panama. They met on an international dating site. He has been married prior. He was married for like 7 years to a Brazilian woman that he actually met when he was in Brazil. Okay, so he worked in Brazil, met her. They was married 7 years. No child came from that marriage. He wants to be married. He wants to have children, and it's evident because when I tell you, Gina, I know you more than likely ain't watching this. But if you was, I'm going to talk to you. You need to run. When I mean run, I mean Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. I mean this. Or even this type of run. You need to go, you need to run like Ace Ventura with the tutu on when he was like, get in your car, get away. Because when I tell you, babe, she is about to tear you up. Okay? First thing first, they've been dating for 9 months. Or talking. Or dating. Consumed with each other for 9 months. His brother, his sister-in-law, his uncle's girlfriend, all have showed their concerns. Gino doesn't care. He is smitten. He really wants to be with someone so bad. Like, so bad. That is scary. It's frightening. That is so many red flags that it's like you at this point, the flags ain't even red. Like, it's a red dot on your forehead, sir. Uh, Again, they're going to meet up for the first time. He's going to meet her in Panama. Okay. Uh, here's a few of the red flags. You're laid off, and she knows your situation as far as you being laid off. But she has you send money to help her out. And I'm like, okay, to help her out. Okay, I get it. COVID. No, to help her out. Getting new lips and new eyebrows. And what else he gave her? New hair. Nails done. I think he got her chesticles. I don't know, because them things look like they hurt. Oh, they look so hard and just look like two freaking, oh my God, hard sourdough buns. Them things look like they hurt. But he's getting prepared. Like, he's like, he's gonna go there. He's traveling over the holiday season, which means he paid a grip for them tickets. He is essentially wanting to produce children with this woman because he has bought on Amazon or some Chinese website some bootleg Viagra. It ain't have no label on it. It just came popped out of a box, and it was just like pills. Like, sir, you sure that's Viagra? You don't know what you're taking. You could end up growing a third arm out your neck. You could end up sounding like a goat or a llama. Like, do you understand? He was like tested and tried. Oh, that was so that was so cringy. Um, here's the biggest red flag of why I said it's going to be a domestic violence situation. She has to speak to him on video chat at all times, and she sends him an emoji of a police officer where she says, "Run down the evidence." What evidence? I was sitting there like, what evidence? Is she a private eye? Like, what's going on? Of when he leaves the house. Of when he talks to somebody. This man went and got some food, okay? When he got some takeout. He's talking to the girl at the register. He had to turn the phone to show the woman who the woman was, that he was Jasmine, who the woman was he was talking to. She had an issue. Why you had to ask her name? And why was you standing there so long? It shouldn't take you that long to get your food, and you live this far from your house, and you live, child, if you got to be with somebody like that, let them go. You ain't got to. She is controlling. She is dangerously possessive. That you have to sit there and tell her why you asked for the person's name. You had to flip the phone over for her to see the person, and then she looks at him with the evil eye. Like, what's going on with you? I don't ever want to get to that point when I want to be with somebody that bad that I'm sitting there listening to them, having me give them blow by blow details of me going to pick up my fast food. Who there in the background? I'm at Burger King. Yes. Well, I'm sorry. What's your name, sir? Why are you asking him what his name is? Because he's handling me my food. I would like to know who is handling the food that I'm going to digest in my body. I would like to know their name. I just pray for him. I really don't. He just, he really wants to be with somebody, and that's scary, and uh, and dangerous, if you ask me. But we're going to move on to the next couple. I'm not trying to be judgmental over anybody at all. But this one right here, this one and the last one is going to irk my nerve. I think this episode was just 4 couples, if I'm not mistaken. When I tell you irk my nerve, or not even irk my nerve, piss me off. So this couple is Memphis, who is 34, and she's also from Michigan. And Hamzen, Hamzen, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he's 28, and I think she said he's from Tanzania. First of all, these are 2 beautiful people. He is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. She is a single mother of 2. She has a 13-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. She was married to her son's father. I can't remember how long, but that didn't work out. She paid for herself through school and everything, because we learned about her childhood. Her father, if I'm not mistaken, was incarcerated. Her mother dealt with substance abuse or addiction in her life, so she was in and out the foster care system up until the age of 19. So it was tremendously to hear her testimony that she paid her way through school and became not only a nurse but a nurse practitioner. Freaking awesome. She also found husband on an international dating website. And understand that because of her situation with her mom, that she has that abandonment issue and everything that she has going on. And she was talking to her mom about that, and her mom was like, there was never a time you needed anything. You didn't want for anything. And I'm like, no, Mom, actually, if you have a addiction, which means that addiction takes precedence over your life than any other thing, your daughter did need things. So her mom is in denial with that. Her 2 friends are trying to talk to her, get her prepared for her trip. She's going to see him. She's going over to Tanzania. She's getting lingerie, whatever. She is comfortable in her sexuality, which is great for her. They have sexy time, which is kind of hard to have sexy time with someone with a shower cap on your head, and they don't understand half the words that are coming out your mouth, but sexy time. This is what pissed me off. And again, this is her life. Who am I to judge? But being a mom to mom. Baby, you got a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old child. You don't know if this man is a pedophile. You don't know if this man is an abuser. You don't know if this man is an abuser, whether it's physical or emotional. You don't know any of these things. And in your mind, this man is so great. And like your friend said, what if the personality doesn't match? No, it's going to mesh. It's going to mesh. That you're going over there for 3 weeks. The first week is to get to know each other on a deeper level, on a more physical level, knowing each other face to face. The second week, y'all get married. And the third week is the honeymoon. What? Is you crazy? Have you been drinking? Have you been smoking? Are you not thinking about what this would do to your children? That you didn't even give them an opportunity to know this man. Not through video chat, not through text message. To know this man. To even know if they even accept him. Because a lot of times kids can see the truth about a person before an adult can. Cause they ain't letting all of that mushy feelings and they ain't letting none of that into the pot. They can smell it a mile away. They're like full up. But you gonna marry this man, and y'all been talking for months. That pissed me off. I was like, you not taking consideration of your children's welfare and your welfare. This man could be playing crazy and end up being controlling. He could kill you. Like, you could be on Fatal Attraction. I don't understand. 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 I don't understand how to be that fixated in being in a relationship with someone that you just throw all common sense out the goddamn window. Like, the window's over there and your common sense, you packed it up in a bag, tied that bag up, then wrapped saran wrap around it, then you taped it and threw it out the window, and a bunch of people just kicked it down the street. Don't make no kind of sense to me that you ain't even thinking about that. Okay? At all. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, he fine, but he ain't that damn fine. Now, the piece of resistance. I don't like this word, fool. But my grandma used to say something when I was younger. Ain't nothing like an old fool. And I tell you, I done been an old fool several times. And this one right here, this foolish. And I pray it don't work out the way I think it's going to work out. But this last couple is Kim from California. She's 50. And 32-year-old Usman from Nigeria. He's a Niger boy. He is a Niger boy. And he has a stage name. His stage name is Soulja Boy. I was watching this and I said, God dang it, I seen his face from somewhere. Now, see, I love Nollywood films, which is Nigerian Hollywood films. You know how they have Bollywood? Well, they have Nollywood. I was like, have I seen him in a movie? Where have I seen him? We gonna hold that thought. We're gonna get back to that. Now, Kim is eccentric. Okay, I am a Michael Joseph Jackson fan. I have always been a Michael Joseph Jackson fan. I have loved Michael Joseph Jackson. Yes, I will say his whole entire name. Since I was a wee little girl. Okay, I'm talking about I wore a fake red leather jacket. I wore some white socks. I pulled my pants up all the way to my neck. I had my J.C. penny loafers and one of my grandmother's church gloves, and I performed Thriller. And when I mean I performed Thriller, baby, I performed Thriller. I'm talking about back in the day when you could rent the cassette tape, the VHS to be exact, and rent the VHS player from Blockbuster. And we would rent it every week, and I would watch it. Still to this day, I will tell you how much of a Michael Joseph Jackson fan I am. That when he died, somehow deep down in my spirit, I felt I needed to do a tribute to him. So I did the whole Thriller routine. Ain't like this man can see me. He dead. Okay? That's how much of a fan I am. When he died, I had on my desk The Man in My Life, because he had a song called The Woman in My Life. But The Man in My Life, and it was just different pictures of him. And I put it in a picture frame and put it on my desk like I knew him. Okay? That's how much I love Michael Joseph Jackson. Same way I love Janet Demeter Joe Jackson. Anybody say anything bad about them too? Look here.
Motion detected at your front door.
I was so enamored and loved Janet, and still do, Janet Demeter Joe Jackson, to the point that when she, back in the day, had Rhythm Nation and she had the earring with a key on it, I had got my earring and put my house key on it and didn't realize that I didn't close the clasp in the back of the earring, and it was a hoop. And that when I got home, I couldn't get into my house because I ain't had no house key, because I had lost my house key because I had put it on my earring, and I had to explain to my mom why I ain't had my house key, because I had thought I was Janet Jackson, and I had joined her Rhythm of Nation. And then my mama had showed me her version of Rhythm Nation. Okay, that's how. Okay, but that's when I was young. Okay, I was a kid. Now back to Kim. She is the mega Michael Jackson fan because, and it's a little alarming. Okay, because she got a fedora, which was great. I was like, oh my God, like, that's wonderful, with his autograph. And she has it as a memento. No, she has it like it's a monument. Yeah, she has it on display. But she was saying like the hat is worth like 6 or 8,000. But she said she examined the hat real hard because she wanted to find one of his Jerry curls in the hat. What was you gonna do with that little Jerry curl? Was you gonna clone it? Was you gonna try to clone another Michael Jackson? Like, that was a little weird to me that you wanted his hair. A little different. But also she has a Michael Jackson tattoo, but it's on her forearm, and I love Michael Jackson. Don't get me wrong, but I would never tattoo a musical artist on my arm. Like, I don't believe in tattoos on me. Period. But I was gonna get a tattoo and be a family member, my grandmother, my mother, my son. Like, Michael Jackson? No, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, it is of Michael, and it's kind of weird because it's not the whole body. It's a fedora, then like his legs, and she calls him Mikey as if she knows him personally to give him a nickname, but it says my Mikey. I think she would be one of those people that sold all of her belongings and went to Neverland Ranch. Excuse me, couldn't get the words out, and would have stood out front trying to get the energy of him and his untimely death. Like, that's where she's at. But anywho, how she met Usman is, again, like I told you, he's a Nigerian artist named Soldier Boy. And she saw him on social media. I'm thinking Facebook. And she reached out to him and told him that she likes his music. Okay. Now he's 32. She has a grown son that's 25. So not too far from her son's age. Here's where I was like, I knew him from somewhere. Like, I couldn't pinpoint it. I pulled up his name. I did a little Google search. Which, I mean, like, Kim could have did the same thing. And he had been on this show before. Oh, he had a wife named Baby Lisa. Okay? When I tell you baby, that whole relationship was different and weird and concerning. But so he's done this before. Okay? He is basically, like, this is where it got confusing. So she's going to meet him in Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken, for a video shoot. Okay? But when she was talking to her mother about it and her friends, like, I don't know if and the producer, I don't know if they're exclusively dating or if he considers her a fan. Like, when she was talking, it did not sound like y'all was in a romantic relationship. It sounded like he sees you as a fan. Like, I'm not understanding. She has a shirt of his. It's giving me very obsession of him. She's talking to her mother, who she's her mother's caregiver. She was married for, I don't know, over 20 something years. That didn't work out. Her husband cheated. So she's also lonely. But her mother, I love the mother because she is straight, no chaser. She says, you don't know this man? This man is how much younger than you? Like, come on now. But she was like, she always, anytime someone disagrees with their views on the relationship, she got an issue with it. Okay? And she's going to have to get out of her feelings. Her friends are talking to her, explaining to her, like, well, just trying to figure out what she's planning on doing when she goes there. Like, are they going to be staying together? Like, what's the gist? And so she finally says, well, she gives them, like, the details. She was like, yeah, he's shooting a music video for a song, and I can't remember what it was called for the life of me. But it is a song about a female. And like her friend said, okay, who's this female? I don't know. What is the song about? I don't know. But I know I like it. You blatantly being oblivious. Like, you literally making yourself blind. You going to see this man shoot a music video in another country about another woman. He's singing about another woman. You would at least want to know what the song's about. Did he say that he loved her, liked her, he mistreated her, he cheated on her, he busted in the eye? Like, what? You don't even know. You just want to go see him. No. Then the fact that he says that he wanted to take things slow, he's been hurt because of his past relationship. Are you talking about the relationship he had when he was on the show before? That was a hot mess. Because he was cheating and she was cheating, everybody was cheating. This little sprinkle little cheat here, sprinkle little cheat here. He married her, she married somebody else. Like, it was a whole hot mess. You talking about that relationship? She tells her friends that they're going to be staying at this hotel and that he has his own room and she has her own room, which is great. However, this was his idea, and it's because he wants to make sure that this is where the relationship's going to go. He's going to get comfortable, and I side-eye that for the simple fact of the matter that he is a 32-year-old young-blooded man. Majority of the time, they are not trying to have separate rooms. It's his idea to have a separate room. Baby, I don't think he sees this relationship in the same lens that you see. She's giving up so much and she's morphing into whoever he wants to be with her. I mean, to be with him. Because her friend was like, well, you know, how's this going to work with him being younger? Does he want to get married? Does he want to have children? And she was like, yes, he wants to be married. Yes, he wants to have children, but I'm done having kids. Baby, for you, and I'm closer to your age than I am away from your age. Physically, at some point, women are not physically able to produce children, okay? You 50. I don't know your egg count, nor is that my business, but let's be honest about that, okay? You 50. I'm closer to 50. Baby, our eggs is scrambled, okay? Our eggs are hard-boiled, okay? These ain't no young chickadee eggs in there, okay? So let's stop, okay? I know at this point in my life, if I was to get pregnant, I'm having Benjamin Button's child. My child's full-fledged coming out looking like James Brown when he was 63. I'm going to have an elderly baby. If I had a child right now, my child will come out 74. My child will come out older than me if I had a child at this age. He would be elderly. Like his name, he automatically would come out and sign paperwork and say that his name was Cleophas or Rufus, Jebediah. Like that's the type of eggs I got. Your eggs, at your age, you would have a child named, I just heard this name recently and it sounds like an old name, Odessa, Pearl, Gertrude. Okay, let's be truthful about it. But she got a solution. She ain't gonna let that get in her way. If he wants to have kids, that's fine. She's willing to be the first wife and allow him to have a second wife because she wants to take in his culture and accept his culture of having many wives. So he wants to have another wife and have children. She's down for it. Her friend looked at her and said, are you serious right now? You serious? You willing to be legally married to somebody and he has other wives? Seriously, you signing up for that? You signing up for that? And she's like, I don't understand why everybody gotta think negative, but everything gotta be. Stop trying to think everything so positive and so great and so wonderful, so fantastic. It ain't. This is crazy. But live your life, boo. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to have sister wives? Didn't you? Don't you watch that show? Do you see that it don't work out like that? That the sister wives aren't sister wiving right now? Child, I can't. It piss me off. I'm just sitting there like, there ain't no way in the world. I have never been that lonely where I'm willing to be somebody's sister wife. If I'm with somebody and they entertaining somebody, guess what? I'm no longer with that person. They can go ahead and continue on entertaining that person. I don't do that. I don't. I barely like group outings. I'm not having a group marriage. What that look like? Anywho, those are my views on this episode of 90 Day Fiance, Season 5, Episode 1, A Leap of Faith. And when I'm telling you this was the right name for the episode, because they all taking a leap. But I don't know if it's faith. They taking a leap into dumbassness. But who am I to judge? These are just my personal thoughts. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.